I know you still want to go shopping and you want to save money. Welcome back to my broke and retired videos. Again, y'all, I know we're not broke. I'm not broke even though I'm retired, and I want to show you how you do not have to be broke just because you are retired. You do not have to not shop anymore because you're retired. You do not have to not shop because your money situation, your finances have changed. You can still be able to enjoy life, and shopping is enjoyable to me. What is it? What they call it? Retail therapy? Exactly. Sometimes you need to get up and out of the house and just go into a different environment. Look at some different walls versus the walls in in your house, right? So this is one of the reasons why I enjoy going out to the secondhand stores. I mainly like the Goodwill. Goodwill's better because their items tend to be in better condition than some of the just say thrift stores and things like that. Sometimes though you have to really be careful and look at the prices, because sometimes I don't know what they be thinking, like that they're Marshalls or something. Some of these stores, these Goodwill prices can be that cute. That skirt is really cute. These stores can be really expensive. So while you're out shopping in retirement or just trying to save money, make sure you're looking at the price tags and kind of thinking to yourself, do I want to give a secondhand store $15, $20 for a skirt or for a dress? In order for me to do that, y'all, I'm telling you, I have to fall in love with an item. I'm not going to just walk into a secondhand store or even the Goodwill and say, oh, I'm going to give these people $15 for this dress. No, when I can go online and get dresses for 8, 9, 10, $15, right? So I'm not going to do it at a Goodwill unless I actually fall in love with the item. Now that has happened, so it can happen to you too. And if you fall in love with it, girl, buy it. You can't take this money with you, girl. Buy it, especially if you're in a secondhand store and you're only paying $13 for a dress that you fall in love with. So get on up out the house. Let's get out and meet new people. And the Goodwill is an amazing place to meet new people, get to not be alone, and just sit around or walk around. Because I know when I'm walking around the store, I'm speaking to everybody, hi, how you doing, and different things like that. And then you will find out that some people are in there for the same reason that you are. Now this dress was $13. I thought that was a little steep for a secondhand store, and the dress really wasn't that cute. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna pass on that. And I'm just, because I didn't have anything else to do. I'm in a new city that I've never been to. I was excited to be in a secondhand store or in the Goodwill in a completely different city. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I am in Orlando, Florida. And this store is in one of the suburbs or in Orlando. And I will put the address of the Goodwill in the description so that if you're in the area, you can stop and check out this store. Maybe they have something you like. One of the reasons why I really couldn't buy much of anything is because I flew Frontier, y'all, right? And if you know anything about Frontier, you only can bring like a small luggage. So that's what I did. So I really couldn't buy a lot of stuff because I didn't have any more space in my luggage for nothing else. So that's why I really couldn't buy anything else. But I really, really, really didn't see a whole lot of anything I wanted to buy anyway. These little Mickey Mouse things were very interesting. We're actually going to Disney World one day here soon, and I was looking for some Disney stuff simply because I was in Orlando. These rain jackets really wasn't that expensive, but y'all listen, I decided that I wasn't going to get them. I don't know, just because I didn't think they were the greatest. They were cute and all that, but they weren't all that. So I ended up putting them back. I put them in my cart for a little while so I could think about it. And I don't know if you shop like me. I will walk around the store. I will put things in my cart. And then by the time I get ready to check out, it's like, nah, I don't need it. I don't want it. I like to buy things that I am going to use immediately. Because when I'm shopping, I think to myself, hey, when I get home, what will I do with this item immediately? Do I have a place in my home for it? Do I have a need for this piece of item as soon as I get home? If I can't decide where I'm going to put this item or what I'm going to do with this item immediately. Y'all, I promise you, I don't like wasting my money. I thought my granddaughter would have liked this, but the material looked a little itchy, so I left that too. When I tell y'all I had a cart full of stuff and I purchased nothing, that's exactly what happened, because I walked around this store. First of all, I get overwhelmed when I see a whole lot of stuff. This little jean dress was really cute. When I see but I think it was a little overpriced. $8 for a baby, a kid's dress. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass. They had a whole lot of jeans and stuff too. And I'm thinking about back to school shopping. If you have children or even grandchildren that you want to help buy their school clothes, back to school clothes, this is a great place, y'all, to go and purchase back to school items for your grandchildren or even your children or someone else's children, right? You don't have to go to all these expensive stores and pay $30, $40, $50 for a pair of jeans when you can go to the Goodwill and find a pair of jeans. I don't know what they cost, but I'm sure they're a lot cheaper than you would pay at a regular retail store, right? And then they had so many house items and so many children and teenage. They just had a whole lot of everything. I think that's why I really couldn't find anything, because the store was overwhelming, right? But I liked this Goodwill because the stuff was in A1 condition. I didn't see anything stained, anything broken, anything that had missing parts. And I talked to a guy that used to work at the Goodwill, and he said, "Oh no, they don't play that in this store. They go through their items with a fine tooth comb, so they make sure that it is in excellent condition." That is probably why you see the employees working. That is probably why their prices were a little higher than what I was used to seeing. But if this was in my hometown, I probably would have bought some stuff. But I just didn't feel like lugging all that stuff back on the airplane, because I was thinking to myself before I came, if I found some things that I really, 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 really liked, I would have bought another suitcase from the secondhand store, from the Goodwill, and repacked it and kind of just paid to bring it back home. But I didn't find anything I liked, so I didn't have to do all of that. So if you're interested in saving money even in retirement, or if you're not retired or you're thinking about retiring, or whatever the case may be, y'all see how much they wanted for that bag? I wouldn't have never ever gave them no $9 at a Goodwill store for that bag. They had a lot of Mickey Mouse and all that different kind of stuff, because they are close to Disney World. So I'm thinking that's why they had so many of these things. And I really like these little ears, but I decided I didn't feel like doing all of that. I was really in here to just record so that I can show y'all this store, so that if you're in the area, you can go there and see if they have anything that you like versus what I was looking for. And actually, y'all, I really wasn't looking for anything, but like I said, they had so much stuff, and I liked it because it was very, very clean. It was very organized. If you're looking for a book, you know how expensive books can be. Check at your Goodwill stores before you go to these other retail stores and spend 3 times the money on anything. Listen, y'all, if I have an idea that I want something or if I need something, I say, let me check the Goodwills first to see if they have it. And I'll do that for a while. And then after a while, if I don't find what I'm looking for at the Goodwill or another secondhand store, then and only then will I go to Amazon and purchase something, because I gave myself the opportunity to find it in the secondhand store. Like, look at all these pads that they have. Y'all, these pads, I really do see these at a lot of the Goodwills, not just in this one in particular, but I see it in a lot of the different Goodwill stores. And pictures galore. I remember when I first relocated and I didn't have pictures and stuff for my walls. Y'all, I sincerely went to the secondhand stores, and I purchased almost all the pictures, actually all the pictures and things that's hanging on my walls right now from a secondhand store. Beautiful stuff. So if you're looking for pictures or housewares or anything, check your local Goodwill store first. You will not, you might be shocked if you're not used to shopping at the Goodwill. You may say, wow, I didn't know I could find stuff like this at the Goodwill. Trust me on this one, and especially like kids' toys and things like that. Stuff that eventually, as a parent, you're going to throw them in the garbage anyway. You know, you get tired of looking at all those kids' toys and things piling up in their room or piling up around the house. You're going to throw them in the garbage anyway. So you might as well go ahead to the to the secondhand store and purchase these things for your kids. And then when you get tired of looking at them, you won't feel so guilty or so bad for throwing them out because you only paid a couple dollars for them. Go in here, buy these toys and different things for your kids. Take them home, wash them down, scrub them down, bleach them down, whatever you got to do. Make sure you clean them up and let the kids play with them, y'all. I do it all the time. Look at all these puzzles and toys and games that they have. So, just like when you get tired of looking at your kids' stuff, you may donate it to the Goodwill. Other parents are doing the same thing. And this store didn't have anything that I seen that was broken or stained or missing parts and things like that. So when you're shopping at the Goodwill, just make sure that you're looking over the items carefully. Now, I don't know if I would buy puzzles and things from the Goodwill that has been opened because you get them home and then some of the pieces could be missing. So if you're buying puzzles from the Goodwill, come on now. Go ahead and make sure it's never been opened so that you'll have all the pieces that you need to the puzzle, because you gonna make them kids mad. You get them puzzles home and they trying to put it together and half the pieces not there, right? And listen, if your husband need pants or shirts or anything, most of the Goodwills are loaded with men's shirts, men pants, and jeans and things like that. You don't have to shop at these retail stores and spend all your little money just on clothes. You can save that money to travel with that you're saving from buying clothes. Look at these jeans. I'm not sure how expensive jeans are in the other stores because guess what, y'all? I don't buy them. If I have a lot of jeans, right? And I definitely get them from the Goodwill because I'm not finna spend 50, 60, $70 on a pair of jeans when the ones I get are when the ones when the hold on, Des. When the Des, I'm doing a voiceover. When the ones I get are just as nice. That was my daughter calling, and I don't want to start this voice over. And listen, this store here had a lot of shoes. I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a Goodwill with this many shoes. I mean, they had rows and rows. Those sneakers were really, really, really cute. But I would never give a secondhand store no $15 for a little kid's pair of sneakers. Not I. Not I, Alex. Give it to me for $3 or $4, maybe $5. But they had, now these right here is really, really cute. I don't know why I didn't get them. My granddaughter probably would have loved them. But buying stuff for your kids, the parents may not like it. Just because you like it, don't mean the parents will like it. So I just didn't feel like trying to figure all that out. But this store right here have tons and tons and I told y'all, I'm just adding stuff to the cart and not even purchasing anything at the end of the day. But they just had so many shoes and stuff to choose from. So, and they had a variety of sizes. If you a size 9 lady, girl, go ahead and go to the Goodwill, and instead of spending a whole heap of sack of money on some shoes, go and get this discount. Even if the shoes are $13, $14, $15, $21 or something like that at the Goodwill, I'm sure, I am positive that it's a lot cheaper than going to these other retail stores, especially when you find a Goodwill this large. Like, they have so many different things to choose from. Look at the shoes. It's not stopping. The shoes are going on and on and on forever, it seems like, And I tell y'all, I am an avid Goodwill shopper. I'm not new to this. Like I said, I'm true to this. And when I tell you this store right here had a whole lot of shoes to choose from, but you know what? They had too many for me. I just get a little overwhelmed when I see too much of anything. Like, that's why I don't care for buffet food, because if I see way too much food, I don't know what I want. I don't know what to choose from. These shoes here were cute, but $15 Goodwill. Come on now. Come on now. Now, this here stuff look like a bunch of junk. I can't tell you what all this this junk here is. I think they're curtains and sheets and things like that. But shoes continue. They just go on and on and on. If I lived there, I probably would have purchased some shoes. I did see one or two pair that I may have purchased, but I'm not really sure. Now, I've never really seen this kind of setup in a Goodwill. It's kind of cute. It look kind of like old stuff, like elderly people would donate. But hey, to each his own. I still haven't been able to figure out what are these things. But you know what? Something that you're not looking for, someone else will find as a treasure at these stores. So that's why it's good to go to the Goodwill, because you never, ever know. That one thing that you have been looking for just might be at the Goodwill. I really did like all those different colors. I don't know, I'm a little different. I like things that are different, and I thought that price for those wasn't too bad. I don't know, $8 is a little steep, but it might be the going rate. Who knows? I don't know. So listen, y'all, if you are looking for backpacks or anything for back to school for your kids, I'm telling you to go to the Goodwill. Check them first before you go and spend all of your money on back to school things, and you're in a regular retail store and you paying all of this money for stuff. They even have jewelry. You know, I'm not really big on jewelry, but the little bit of jewelry that I do have, I really have gotten it from the Goodwill, you know. And then they have a lot of hats. Like, what are you looking for? Make your list, because I find that even though it's a secondhand store, you need to go in there with a list. Like, what are you looking for? Like, I like little tiny purses, and I was looking at some of the purses here, but I think a lot of them were just like overpriced. Y'all, isn't that purse cute? But it was a ridiculous price. I was not giving them $22 in a secondhand store for a purse. I put that thing back so fast, y'all. Not doing it. And I love t-shirts and things like that, right? And I'm not sure how much they really cost in the real store. I don't know. I guess this is really a real store, but I just don't like to pay full price for anything. Not because I'm retired. It's just because I've been doing this for so long. And I wasn't retired when I first started this. My children were young, and I was younger, and the money really didn't matter to me then, but I just like shopping at the secondhand store. And if this is something that you like to do, make sure you continue doing this in retirement. Save that little money, girl, and travel with it, because see, that's what I do. I don't spend a whole lot of money on clothes and houseware, stuff like that, because y'all, listen, I'd rather go out and spend that money on an adventure, or on another shenanigan, like whatever I feel like spending the money on. That's what I want to do. That was a good price for that t-shirt, but I don't know much about Mary Blige. Some people say, "Oh, you remind me of Mary Blige." I'm like, well, I don't know nothing too much about her, so I put that t-shirt back. I don't like to just wear stuff that I'm not that familiar with. So that's why I kind of put that back. But they had a lot of stuff to choose from, y'all. Look at how big this Goodwill really is. I don't know if you've probably been in this one before. This is my first time, and so I felt like I wanted to share this with you. So thank you. Isn't that dress pretty? So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you share it with your family and friends. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Let's get the subscribers up. I want 100K subscribers. Help me get there, y'all. Bye-bye.